My name is Alex. I work in adult services at the Fox Lake District Library, and I will be your computer instructor for today's class, a visual tutorial for using Hoopla, a great database to allow you to stream music, movies, and audiobooks. What you will need to get started is a laptop computer, a desktop computer, or a portable device such as a cell phone or a tablet. For today's main tutorial, we will be using a Windows 10 computer with the Google Chrome web browser. You also need some internet access. Make sure you're on your wireless or on your Ethernet cable internet. You need a valid email account. This is very important. You must have this set up prior to creating your Hoopla account. If you need to create a free email account, check out the tutorial that I'll be providing at the end of this presentation called Setting Up Email Account Basics. You can go to google.com and set up a Google Chrome email account. So make sure you get your valid email account before you start. You must have a valid Fox Lake District Library card. And if you choose to use a portable device like a cell phone or a tablet, you can download the Hoopla app from the Google Play or Apple Store, depending on your device. And later on, I will provide a sneak peek at the Hoopla app on one type of portable device, an Android phone. Okay, so first thing, you'll need to connect to the internet at home. Once doing that, you'll open up a web browser such as Google Chrome. So on your desktop, you'll either have an icon that you're going to tap and click on. You'll double mouse click and open that up, or you can click on the little Google Chrome down there, and then you'll get on the internet that way. In your Google Chrome web browser, you're going to type in the Fox Lake Library homepage, www.fllib.org, and then hit your enter key on your keyboard. So you're now at the Fox Lake District Library homepage. Now we need to get to the digital databases. So click on Digital Databases on the Fox Lake Library website. You're going to scroll down on the screen using your mouse or the little thumb wheel on the center here to be able to scroll down on the screen. And then you're going to highlight your mouse over the Hoopla database and then click on it with your mouse. At Hoopla, if this is your first time, click on Get Started Today. So you're at the home page of the Hoopla database. You're going to tap on Get Started. So with your email account that you've created, or one that you already had, you're going to put that in the email address bar right here. We just use computerclassmarch2020@gmail.com as the example I have, and then I confirm the email. Then I create an 8 to 40 character password and retype the password in, and then when I'm done with looking at all the terms and conditions, tap on Agree. So the important thing now is your email account has to be associated with your Fox Lake card. So you want to make sure you search for the Fox Lake District Library. You could start typing Fox Lake District, and then you're going to type on or click on Fox Lake District Library, and then Next. You'll enter in your 14-digit library card number. On the back of your library card, there's a 14-digit number. So you flip it over, type those 14 digits with no spaces. And then you're going to put your PIN in there. It defaults as your last 4 digits of your library card number with no spaces. And then tap on Sign Me Up. Okay, so when you get to the Hoopla home screen, it's going to always default to something called My Hoopla Account. When you need to log in the future, you're going to always put your email address and your password and then log in. So at your home screen, this will be basically what you'll show what's borrowed, and it's your portal for the database. So let's talk about the different parts of the Hoopla database. We have something called My Hoopla. Basically, you're going to find out where your downloads are, what you've downloaded, how many checkouts you have left, your history, if you turn that on, and your favorites. This is basically, if let's say there's a title you don't want to look at right now, you can click on a little heart icon, and it'll actually be kind of like when you're bookmarking a website. You'll put it in your favorites, you can click on it and borrow it at a later time. So that's what my Hoopla is. This is the important one. So there's different ways to look for the content that you're looking for. The one I like is Browse. Under Browse, you can look at audiobooks. You can click on movies, music, comics, ebooks, and television. Once you click on something, let's say we clicked on audiobooks, it'll always default as what the popular titles are. But you can narrow it down by categories if you have a specific genre in mind, like mystery, suspense, or history. You can also narrow it down by release date if you want to see what the most recent one is. Either way, how you decide it, all these are clickable, and then your results will always appear on the right-hand side of the screen. And once you scroll down on the screen to look at more, you can also tap on the next to proceed to additional choices. So that's Browse. If you don't like the Browse, it defaults to everything, and there's a search bar. That's like a keyword search, kind of like you were doing in Google or in the library catalog. If you know of a certain author, a title, or a category, you can type it in there and then click enter. And then there's one I don't really use too much, but there's an advanced search. Again, that's more features, and I would say to get started, start by looking at either typing in, like clicking on Browse and clicking on a different category and pick, because there's a lot of choices that way. Because I wouldn't want anyone to get frustrated. Let's say they typed in a keyword or something, and all of a sudden their result was not there. So I really like the Browse categories. But if you want to play around with the, typing in a keyword, start with subject headings or even like a genre, or even if you know of an author or title, you can try that. So recommend Browse, but if you want to try keyword, you can also do that too. Okay, so we're going to start with Browse. So let's say we wanted to search for movies by categories. So we're at the Hoopla. We click on Browse, and then we click on Movies. And then it'll pop up the results. And then we have to then hover over to Categories. So we'll tap on Categories with our mouse. So we tap on that. And then here's just a snapshot of some of the categories that are out there. They have anything from public performance rights included to science fiction to self-help. We're going to tap on travel, just for an example. So we find travel. If you have to scroll down on the screen, you can do that. You click on travel. And what it'll bring up is a results page. So it's showing 1 of 48 of 212. So that's all the titles that have the category travel. So then you can pick whatever you like. You can take your mouse and click on something on the screen. So we're going to try for this one, Climbing Redwood Giants. So we click on that particular title, and the results of Climbing Redwood Giants comes up. So you'll notice that they highlight the title, the year that it was published in 2009. If there's a rating for the movie, sometimes you have like rated G, rated PG. That'll be found right here. And CC is closed captioning. Some movies have it, some of them don't. So when you go to actually play the movie, you'll be able to see if it actually has closed captioning or not. So it'll give you a little description about what it's about, some of the main subject themes, and you'll look at it, and if this is something you want, you can tap on Borrow. Now that little heart next to it, that's the favorite. So again, if you're not sure, if you just want to save it for later, and you don't want to borrow it right away, you can tap on the heart. But as soon as you tap on Borrow, it basically deducts one download from your total downloads. So for example, let's say I had 5 downloads remaining for the month, and I clicked on this to borrow. I'm now down to 4. So any format that you click on one title, it will keep deducting from your monthly downloads, whether it's a book, movie, music. So keep that in mind. And the nice thing about Hoopla is when you are done with the movie, for a movie it checks out for 3 days. So either you're done with it at the 3 days, it'll automatically return itself. So you don't have to worry about late fees or anything because it returns itself. Now you also have the option to return it by yourself if you'd like, but it'll expire on its own. But be warned, when you do check something out, and let's say you didn't want to watch it anymore, it's still counted toward your monthly downloads. So if you decide to return it early, it will not give you that download back. But at the end of the month, you will get your downloads back. So if you had 5 or 10 downloads for the month, once you're done with that month, the new month it resets. So you'll have plenty of times to look at that. Another thing, the bonus borrows, that was something that Hoopla's doing just for this particular time period while we're all at home, and they wanted to make sure to give extra free downloads. So if you click on the categories and you see anything that says bonus borrows next to it, it won't count toward your downloads. So there's still plenty of content, really great content you can check out even under the bonus borrows categories. So definitely take a look at that. So okay, so we borrowed our item. Here's what the screen is going to look like. After you borrow, you're going to click on play. So you're just going to tap on play right there. It'll pull up a little video screen that's in Hoopla. Couple things that you need to note. So there's the play button. There's the sound, so you can adjust your audio. This is like your time frame about how long the movie is and where you're actually in the movie. You have your movie settings right here, that little cogwheel. Closed captioning, that little box right there, and if they have it. And then this little box right here allows you to make the movie full screen. So if you're on a TV, it looks really nice. Or if you're on a computer, you can actually fill up your whole computer screen. If you wanted to get out of full screen mode, just hit the escape key on your keyboard, and then just click on the X right there, and it'll take you back to your home page. Okay, so let's say you logged out for the day and you wanted to log back in. You log back in with your email address and your password. To find out what you currently still have borrowed, you could either click on Browse or the My Hoopla, currently borrowed, or when you log in for the first time, it'll actually just be on the currently borrowed. That it always defaults to My Hoopla. So you can then tap on the title and then resume where you left off. So again, it'll remember where you were at, so you don't have to, I mean, you can go back to the beginning of the film if you want, or if you didn't clear out your cookies and cache and everything, it should still remember where you're at, because it's all built into your account, because it's streaming. And then when you're all done with it, again, after 3 days, it'll return, and that's pretty much the basics for doing a movie search. So again, movies is one thing, but they also give you the option to search for music. So we're going to do a little bit different search. So you could also do the same thing where you click on Browse, you look for the music and then categories, and they'll give you all the different categories of music. But let's try something a little different. Let's select, instead of everything, tap on that Make That Music, and then just pick your favorite artist. I ended up doing just Brahms. And then we type that in there. And then once we typed it in there, it'll bring up a set of results. You click on the cover, and then you click on, it'll basically give you a listing of the songs. Now one thing to note, it's not like an Amazon account where you can stream samples right away. The one thing with Hoopla is it'll give you a preview of what all the song list is, but you can't actually click on it until you've actually clicked borrow. So keep that in mind. If you're not sure of a certain song, you might want to do a little YouTube search, or maybe do something online where you could just get a sneak preview of what the song could sound like before you download it. Because once you click borrow, it will make all the actual tracks active so you can listen to the entire CD album. But that's what's neat about Hoopla, is you get to listen to the entire CD. It's not just one specific song. Another thing to keep in mind is the loan period is a little different than movies. So movies was 3 days. Music is 7 days, and it'll return on its own also at the end of the loan period. So just keep that in mind. Every format, whether it's an ebook, an audiobook, movie, or music, all have different loan periods. So just keep that in mind, and you'll see that when you go to download it, it'll say how many days you have it for. So very important to keep in mind. So you borrow it. Once you borrow it, you hit play, and you can start streaming all the songs. Okay. So we talked about the My Hoopla, the Browse, how to change the setting tool if you want to search for an individual keyword on something, for example, with the music. This is the last important thing. There's a little cog wheel where you can actually find out the settings. So in the settings, it'll say your account, what you're logged in under. I logged in into my account. You can change any of your settings here. what library you belong to, and then if you want to change your email or password. So again, that's your settings area. So that pretty much covers it for a basic intro on how to search on Hoopla. What we're going to cover now is Hoopla app for Android. So if you have an Android phone, it'll be somewhat similar to like if you're using any type of cell phone, but we're going to do Android for today because that's one of the phones that I'm familiar with, and it works really well. So with app for Android, you're going to first download the free app from Google Play. So once you download it, you're going to tap on it and then open it up on your desktop or wherever you store your apps on your device. So when you open it up, you're going to get your startup screen, kind of similar, a little bit different than what you see on your computer, where you're going to, if you have your account, you put your email address in and your password, and then you click login. If you've never done an account yet, then you can sign up for a new one. So the important thing to keep in mind is you're not going to be signing up for every new account each time you switch devices. If you did the tutorial earlier today with using your computer, then all you got to do with the computer is then take that same email and password and put it into your Hoopla account on your Android. So it doesn't matter which device you're actually on, the same account works for the same, different device. Because one email account is associated with your one library card number. So keep that in mind. So I actually like just setting it up on my computer first, and then this way it's easier to have a bigger screen, and then I can put it on my phone. So same thing here. If you set up your account on, let's say, the cell phone, then you can use that same email account on your computer. So again, it works across multiple platforms. Okay, so once you log into your account, you're going to get a screen that looks like this, your home screen. That's basically where you're going to find how many titles you have and how many you have left. Your search, if you got to do a keyword search for your title or author. Settings and help, that three little dots there. What's currently borrowed and when it's going to be returned. And then all the categories. So all the categories, they keep them all in the middle here. So depending on what you want to look at. Okay, so if I tapped on the audiobook category, let me just say, so I tap on the audiobook category right there. Then I will pull up the audiobook section of the web page. And it'll, again, just like with the other one, it'll default to popular, but you can filter it down by categories, genres, recommended, whatever you decide to choose. So let's say I wanted to tap on genres right here. You could tap on genres, and I could say I want to look at mystery audiobooks. So you could tap on mystery audiobooks. So you could do that, genre category and pick a mystery, and then it'll bring up all the different titles on that particular genre. Also, if let's say you're done looking at these and you didn't find what you're looking for, but you wanted to get back to your home page, you can tap on the little arrow to the left, and it'll take you back to your home page, or whatever the previous page on your phone was. Okay, so let's also try searching for a movie in the app. So it's very, very straightforward. You're at your home page, you tap on the movies category. It'll basically then filter it down by popular to start out with, but then we can tap on genre just like what we did with the computer. We tap on travel if that's the category you're interested in. It'll bring up all the movies that are of travel category, and then you can scroll down up and down on the screen. I ended up finding Grand Canyon for this one. If that's what you want, you tap on borrow, and then a little screen will come up that says the title's available for 3 days. After you borrow it, it's available for streaming, and this is something a little bit different. Downloading mobile devices only. So if you're in an area and you have your cell phone, and let's say you don't have any internet coverage, you could temporarily download the actual movie or music or audiobook to your phone as long as you stay logged into Hoopla. And then it'll temporarily be there. And then when you log out of Hoopla, or when it expires after 3 days, or whatever the loan period is for that particular format, it automatically takes it off your phone. So you never get a local copy saved on your phone. But keep this in mind that movies do take up a lot of space. Even with the downloading it temporarily to your device, it does take up a lot of space. So I prefer with movies to just stream them right off the internet. Get on a Wi-Fi network so you're not chewing up your data, and you'll be able to stream the movie a lot better, because otherwise it takes a real long time depending on how big the movie is. Now, the music and ebooks, those ebooks and audiobooks, they actually work out pretty well downloading them temporarily, because let's say you were going to travel in your car and you wanted to plug the music in to your Bluetooth, or you wanted to listen to your audiobook from your phone, then you have it temporarily downloaded. So that works pretty well. I've definitely tried that out and it works nice. But just keep that in mind. You know, it's better to stream it. If you know you're going to be in somewhere where you have Wi-Fi, stick with your Wi-Fi. Be cautious about your data. If you want to temporarily download something, it will take up a little bit of space, but it's not forever. It's only for the course of being logged into Hoopla, and if you log out, it'll disappear. So it'll still be in your account, but it just won't be downloaded anymore. You'll have to restream it and re-download it again if you needed to. So now, you cannot download on your computer. You can only stream on your computer. So that's a big difference between the two. Music on the Hoopla app is very similar to what the computer is like, except it's a little bit different, where you can do a search. You can type in, let's say, Brahms. Now, when you type in a search word Brahms, it's going to basically bring up everything about Brahms. So if there's books about Brahms, movies about Brahms, and music about Brahms, then it'll be everything. So what I like to do is then you click on this little filter button, or tap on it on your phone, and then you just select format music, so that you're only getting the music, if that's what you wanted to listen to, music Brahms. So once you do that, then it'll only bring up the music. You find the album, you tap on it, you'll tap borrow just like what you've been doing, and then tap play. And obviously there's also this tap here to download. If you want to tap here to download, that'll temporarily put it on your device. And then when you start listening to it, this is what it sort of looks like. I like to click on this little button in the right hand corner. It allows to show all the list of all the different titles of the songs. And just like a CD player, play, go forward, fast forward, or rewind. That's how you would go back and forth between the different songs. So pretty straightforward. And basically, just like with the computer version, if you go back to your Hoopla home screen, you can always find all your borrows listed here. And then they'll say when it's due back, and you tap on the title, and you can resume where you left off. And the nice thing is, if you have history turned on, and let's say you didn't finish the movie, it'll actually save it in your history, and then you could actually find it again and recheck it out again. But it'll count another checkout. So again, a couple last minute tips. When streaming Hoopla on a mobile device, unless you have unlimited cellular data plan, I think it's best to use a Wi-Fi coverage to be able to stream it, so you're not using up your data. Keep in mind that you can always change your settings. There's a lot of different settings. Depending on what phone or device you have, just be familiar with what you can do with those settings. And then help, when you tap on that little three dots there, you tap on help, and that'll give you even additional questions maybe you didn't think about, or maybe you're having questions about a particular device or a setting on your device, then you can look through it there. So again, additional help on Hoopla. If you click on the help, if you're on a computer, you can tap on the help right there. If you're on a device, you tap on the little three dots right there, and they'll bring up a lot of different topics that'll frequently asked questions that can help you try to work through the question. But if you're still stuck, you can always send us an email. Go to our website, and you can go to About Us, fill out the Contact Us, and then just select Adult Services, and click Submit, and then we'll get back to you in a couple days. If you're watching this tutorial on Facebook, we also have the commentary. If you have a question, you can always post a comment right underneath this post. Or if you're familiar with how Facebook, they have like a messenger inbox, kind of like an email. You can put an email message there and then send it out that way. So there's a lot of different ways to get your question out, and we'll be happy to reply to that. So so that's pretty much it. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. Send me an email, or fill out with a form on the website, or whichever way works best for you. And I'll also attach, either with this movie or as a separate little reply to the recording I put up, the instructions for how to set up a Google account if you need to set up your email account for the first time. I also will be including the PDF version of this PowerPoint presentation, so if you want to go back through step by step or print it out, you can do that also. So what I want to do really quick, since we did a lot of different things with the actual tutorial, is I want to just show you really quick what it actually looks like when you log on to it from the internet browser. So let's just pull up a web browser here. So let's say you were starting at, I'm just going to do google.com just to show you. Okay, so let's say your home page is Google, and we wanted to get from Google to our website. You can type in www.fllib.org and then enter, and that'll take you to the Fox Lake Library website. And then with our mouse, we're going to tap on Digital Databases, and then we're going to scroll down. I like using the thumb wheel right here until we get to Hoopla, and then with our mouse, we tap on Hoopla. And then I'm going to really quick just log in with my account. I'm going to actually use my account because I know that one. Okay, so I'm actually, I think I might already be logged in. Yeah, I'm actually already logged into my account. But if, let's say it was the first time, let me just, let me sign out really quick. So I'm going to log in with my account. Hold on. And then I'll just log in with my... And if you didn't do it right, that's what will come up. So let's just try it one more time. Okay, so I did get in my account. Be very careful, because if you do the password too many times the wrong way, it will lock you out of your account. I've never done it in this one, so I know sometimes they say you gotta wait like an hour or 24 hours before you can reset your password. So just be very cautious about that. So once you log into your account, again, My Hoopla. This was the one title I had. I had a couple more here, but they already got returned on their own. So I have now 7 more titles left this month. But let's check out a couple just things that are kind of neat. So let's say I tap on Browse, and we're going to look at audiobooks. That was that neat feature about categories in the bonus borrows. I want to show that really quick because that's something different. So see how like bonus borrows, mystery thrillers, and suspense, that's one of the bonus ones. Or series kids love. I mean, there's a lot of different ones. Anything that you see with the different bonus ones, if it says bonus next to it. So I'm actually going to go with... there's even bonus all audiobooks, but let's just for fun, let's do bonus borrows, mystery thrillers, and suspense. So I'm going to tap on that, and then once we click on that, then I'll pick one of these. So let me just see if we look at, okay, so let's say we were interested in this Jen McKinley one. So I tap on that art one, and you remember how it said 7 titles, so then, okay, so then actually it says more bonus borrows, so actually it even reminds you that it's a bonus one. So if this one was one I was interested in, I can tap on Borrow. This title is available for 21 days after you borrow it. The title is available for streaming and downloading for mobile devices only. Are you sure you want to borrow it? So then I tap on Borrow Title. So then, once I've done that, you see how it says returns automatically. You can return it now, but it'll return on April 20th. So again, you do have a longer loan period for the audiobooks. But then if I go back to My Hoopla, you'll see I still have some more titles. Because I chose this one as a bonus title, it didn't take it off of here. Now, let's say I wanted to borrow something just from, let's look at like movies. And we were just going to pick, let's say, family. And then I wanted to look at, oh, I don't know, kittens, because it's really cute. So we click on kittens, and then I click on borrow. So this is a, and then you notice how this one actually says not rated, but let's say we tap borrow, and then it says for 3 days, so it does tell you what day it is, and then borrow title. Okay, and they're telling you about another, there's like a kids mode that you can also access. So we can click on close here. and now it's ready to play. So let's say I wanted to actually play that. I can actually tap on play, and it'll do checking your location, and it'll bring up your movie. Now I'm not going to stream it too long because I know copyright. They're very sensitive about that. But so anyhow, you would have your device here. You can pause it. You can do full screen. You can escape, and then when you're done, you just click on X to close it. So, and then it goes back to my Hoopla, and there's your currently borrowed. So I have, these are all the ones I borrowed. This is one that need to be returned. Again, Brahms was another one that I had. You can tap on play, and once you do that, you can see how something comes up here, and then you'll see the whole titles of all the listings of here, and you can go back and forth, between each one. And then we go back to my Hoopla. Again, that's always taking you back to your home page. And let's say we wanted to actually look at the audiobook. You can tap on play, and it'll do the same thing. It'll bring like a setting down here, and then when you look at the actual audiobook, it'll play that in the background. So, and then if you expand it, it'll show like which chapter you're on, chapter 1, and you can skip to chapter 2, chapter 3. So each time you do another click, it'll actually bring you to a different chapter. So that's good to know. So, and then they have these other little settings here, so that you can jump to the individual chapters. So again, play around with it. You're going to get a lot of different things to experiment with. And when you're done with that, you click. It looks like X is usually mean to get it out and get it back to where you were at. So okay, so that's pretty much it. And then when you're all done, just make sure to go to your settings and then just sign out. So just click on log out, and then it'll take you back to your home screen. So, and that's pretty much Hoopla, a basic summary. Again, if you got any other questions, just let us know. Send us an email, or fill out the contact form, or send a message on Facebook, and we'll be happy to respond to any questions. And thank you very much, and have a good day.